Hi Year 12. Today we're looking at dot point 9.2.2.4. Describe the main changes in the chemical composition of the blood as it moves around the body and identify the tissues in which these changes occur. So first things first, we need to unpack the dot point. Our first important word in this particular dot point is describe, okay? So when we describe, we give the characteristics, give the features, okay? So we need to basically give the features of the main changes in the chemical composition of the blood as it moves around the body. And identify is our second important word. All we need to be able to do for identify is just name the tissues where the changes occur. Alrighty, so our blood is really important in terms of transporting things around the body, okay? It's one of our main transport sort of tissues and it has a huge role with lots of different things. So there's four main types of things that our blood transports. It transports gases, so oxygen and carbon dioxide. It transports nutrients, so when we eat, things get broken down and all the important things our body needs get transported through our blood. It transports wastes so that we can get rid of them. And it also transports hormones which help tell our body what to do and help our body in its daily function. So for our cells to actually function properly, they need a really strict balance of chemicals basically. So it's really important that our cells are getting the important gases, nutrients, hormones that they need and also being able to get rid of all the waste as quickly as possible. So the chemical composition of our blood is regularly changing while it moves through all our organs and tissues in our body, okay? So it depends on the function of the organ as to what sort of changes happen to the blood as it passes through that particular area of our body. So, as blood is moving through our body, firstly, as I'm sure you're well and truly aware, there's an increase in oxygen in our lungs and a decrease in carbon dioxide, okay? Because we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide, and that's essentially how it gets into our blood through the lungs. In all other organs, tissues, muscles, all that kind of thing in our body, there's a decrease in oxygen concentration and an increase in carbon dioxide because as it moves through all the cells in our body, they're using up the oxygen and dumping carbon dioxide into our blood as a waste for it to get rid of. Okay, so then as it moves through the small intestine, the blood in our body, there's an increase in digestive products basically. So glucose, fatty acids, amino acids, they're all things that we eat. And so as it passes through the small intestine, those things get absorbed into our blood. So the amounts in our blood increase. Our large intestine is in charge, also in part of digestion, but it's in charge of absorbing water, salts and vitamins. So as blood passes through the large intestine, there's an increase in those three things. So more water, more salts, more vitamins. As blood passes through the liver, there's a decrease in digestive end products like glucose, fatty acids, amino acids, because it's actually the centre of food metabolism for those particular foods. So those things increase in the small intestine, then head to the liver where they decrease because it uses them up. There's also an increase in nitrogenous waste because the liver does what's called deaminate proteins, okay? So basically, in protein metabolism, which is happening in our bodies all the time, nitrogenous wastes are produced and the liver is in charge of breaking them down and putting them back in the blood so that they can be taken care of. As blood passes through the kidney, there's a decrease in that nitrogenous waste, okay? So we do a lot more of a case study on the kidney a little bit further on in the course, but the kidneys are the organ of excretion for nitrogenous waste. So all that nitrogenous waste the liver added into the blood, the kidney gets rid of, okay? There's also sometimes, a decrease in excess salt and water. So sometimes salt and water is reabsorbed in the kidneys if we have not enough. If there's heaps, then salt and water is gotten rid of by the kidneys. So there's also an increase in the level of hormones as it passes through all our endocrine glands. So there's quite a few endocrine glands in our body, things like the adrenal gland, the thyroid gland, the pancreas, all that kind of thing. So as the blood passes through each of those different organs, the level of their particular hormone increases. So this is just a bit of a visual on some of the products, okay? So in the lungs, blood becomes oxygenated. It also gets rid of carbon dioxide. In kidneys, nitrogenous wastes are excreted, so the nitrogenous waste levels in the blood get less. In the digestive tract, the end products of digestion are added. And that's just a bit of an overview of what's actually going on in the bodies. So this table is basically a summary of what we've just said, okay? I think it's a really good overview of what you actually need to know for this particular dot point. So put simply, as blood passes through our lungs, there's more oxygen, less carbon dioxide. As blood passes through all our other organs, there's less oxygen, more carbon dioxide. As blood passes through our muscles, which are obviously a type of tissue, there's less oxygen, more carbon dioxide, also less glucose though, because our muscles use glucose for energy. As blood passes through the small intestine, there's more glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, and vitamins. In the large intestine, it gets more water, salts, and vitamins. As it passes through the kidney, there's less urea, so less nitrogenous waste and sometimes less salts and water. And as it passes through our endocrine glands, there's more hormones. So that is our changing composition of the blood. See you in class.